Hello, Nomad Sculpt, and this video is about masking straight lines. Maybe for panel lines or something, but straight lines are, I think not so easy in Nomad Sculpt. So we need an example. So I choose this sphere here. It's a high poly mesh, so about 1.5 million vertices. And I choose a mask tool, and so maybe I want to mask here such a square. So, and the stroke settings, you can try here stroke smoothing and so on. It's not possible to draw straight lines here with a normal mask tool. So it's much easier to use a mask tool, a custom mask tool, I show you then, and use here the correct alphas. So maybe like this. I change the tiling, so now I have a straight line. So I can change here the thickness of the line, and so you can draw here a straight line. And it's much easier to unmask or mask a part of the line. So you use the mask tool and delete it and change here the tool again and delete the part you don't want. So this is a straight line, but this is only the beginning. There's much more, much more. So I go back a few steps and I change here again the alpha, but yeah, maybe you choose such a alpha and here you get such a square. You can press sharpen and so on. Or you have other alpha, maybe this one, also a square, so it looks like this. And here in the settings it's also possible to change the scaling, so you can stretch it. Sorry, we have to yeah, that's the scaling is inside the red ring. So yeah, and here it's possible to create a grid. So it's also possible to use such a grid and delete then the strokes. So like this. And this is only the basic workflow with the straight lines. So yeah. And here for the grid you can change the tiling. Oops, sorry, that's too much. So you can get such a bigger grid and so on. Okay, now I start with the important stuff. So to create the alphas you need a plane. So I hide everything and reset here the view, and sorry, I turn here the face group off. This is a pure white plane. So this is the wireframe. Okay. So I start with a new one. And here I add on gizmo position a new plane. So, and I delete the other plane. So we start with this one. So you can change here the divisions. Choose a division where you can see the squares and where it's clear, where the grid is. So maybe something like this here. And then validate the plane. So now choose the default mask tool and choose a small radius. And on this plane it's much easier to draw straight lines. So you can draw here a straight line very quick. Something like this here. The symmetry is on, it's okay. So and the parts you don't need, erase it or unmask it. So this is your shape here. And only for information, so this here is the alpha black line or something like this. And the smallest possible line is this. So this is the smallest line. So only here the vertices are masked. So you can change the line thickness. So this is a little bit thicker, and yeah. Okay, now we have our contour. Maybe we draw here again a straight line. This is our shape we want to have. Sorry, I have to repaint it. Okay, so here in the MISC menu, you find here the option for baking. So here we bake the color. Okay, this is a setting for baking, and the color. Now we have a white plane here, and we change the color to pure black. So roughness 1, and then paint all. And then bake here in the baking menu, bake from itself. So now you get your texture here, or your alpha. You see here, this is your baked alpha on the color slot of the plane. So now we don't need the plane anymore, so we can hide it and go back to our sphere. So I reset the view, so like this. And now we need our special mask tool. I called it mask stamp. So and here press on the alpha image and import your texture. You find it here in the Files menu, Nomad Sculpt. Come on. Sorry, there's something wrong, I think. So I replace this. Nomad. You find it here. There's a TMP folder here in TMP. And there you find your textures. And here you see the texture we baked. And this we open as a alpha image. So we can change the tiling here and the scaling, so let it fit inside the red ring. So and now we can place our mask here on our object. And so if you want to work only in this area here, use the hide tool, maybe the lasso tool, and here mask your or hide your part and press invert. So the rest of the mesh is protected, and then it's possible to use the mask and invert it, and maybe use the inflate scale tool to do this here. So now we can clear the mask and smooth the mesh. So only this mesh part is affected. So we can now clear the whole thing, and we got this here on the sphere. So if we want a other shape, so I go back to my plane, and I clear the texture here, and we have to paint all again, or we clear the mask. So clear. So yeah, let's draw again our other shape. So without symmetry at the moment. So on the plane it's really easy to draw the straight lines, complete different to the mesh, the high poly mesh. Oops. So maybe this is our line. So again, back to the misc menu, bake from itself. Oh, we crashed Nomad. No problem. We are back in the game. Yeah, okay, I think you understand it. And so here I delete again this thing and I clear the mask. Okay. So we have to paint it, paint all. A next important thing is, so press on the symmetry menu here, and let's see the wireframe. Here you see when the symmetry is active, your center point of the plane. So now mask tool is active. So I show the symmetry. And now let's draw here only a straight line from the center point. So again the same thing, change to black, paint all, and misc menu and bake from itself. So now that's it. The next thing is we need again our tool, stamp, and change the alpha. So I replace this, search in the Files menu, Nomad Sculpt, TMP, Textures, and here's our straight brush stroke. So this is the line we get. So here the rotation was locked here. So now it's possible to rotate this stroke here from your insert point of the brush. So here when we start, yeah, I hope you understand. So this is the thing here. And the important thing is this point here is the center point of your brush stroke here. So everything you create on this plane so maybe let's change to mask. So maybe you draw here a curve or something. So let's bake it. Oh, sorry, we have to paint, then bake it. So again, back to the sphere. Change the alpha. So now we get this thing on the insert point. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, only for your information, so here it's possible to, when you use the face groups, you can convert the mask to a face group color, and then when you clear the mask, it's possible to smooth this whole thing here. For the smoothing I have to activate here the face group. So now when you pick here the green area, you can smooth your lines here. So a little bit of higher intensity, then it goes much faster. So you get also from a rough alpha a nice sharp line. So this is only, yeah. Okay, other thing. So this is the workflow to create the straight lines. So other thing, what's really nice is sorry, I clear everything. And oh, the mask is active. Okay, so yeah, how to create grids. And so mask is active. I use cell mask. So, and I mask now, oops, I need the rectangular. So I mask here this area. So now, again, paint all with black color. Oops. So here is the face group at the moment active. And here. So again, now we have such a black border on a white canvas. So let's bake this. Bake. And this texture here, so you didn't see much, yes, a black border on the white canvas. So maybe we have an object, and you see here the topology here, like this. This is also a grid. But when we voxel remesh this object, it looks like this here, and yeah, you don't find anything anymore. So for this thing you need a UV map. So the object have to be with a UV map, and then you can place here the color texture. Then use Files menu, Nomad Sculpt, TMP, Textures, and choose this white plane. So now here is your texture, and then you can change the scaling. So you see, now your object has a grid, and the grid is very useful when you do things by hand. So maybe I want here masking a straight line by hand. So it helps me finding the right direction. So this is complete a different grid to the topology wireframe. So, and if I want it different or a rotation, so you can use it like this, and here again mask in the direction you want. So it's really nice to have a grid on the mesh, but you need a UV map for this. And yeah, maybe it helps. I like this workflow. It's very fast to create such straight lines, and as long as Nomad Sculpt has no tool for straight lines or curves, I use this. So have fun with sculpting, and ciao.